it's so crazy people still stuck in Patrick Mahomes in the offense. I'm like, do you see these numbers? This is Marcellus Wiley on the rocks. Let's learn something about Shedeur Sanders right here, because every time I read a mock draft, I just see that arrow. There's two arrows always, the green that's going up and the red going down. Every time I see his name, I see red. And I'm like, damn, who is Shedeur Sanders? In these mock drafts, they saying, look, probably bottom of the first round, which sounds impossible to me. At least a couple months ago it did. And now it's starting to look like reality, which means you go to a better team. But who is Shedeur Sanders? And what will he be as a pro?
I think it's all about situation and fit. People don't realize you have to go to the right system in order for you to have success in the NFL, especially at quarterback. There's about 16 out of the 32 teams, 16 coordinators / quarterback coaches / offensive gurus that do not know how to handle his offensive success. So that's only leaving 16 teams, right? There's probably another 5 that say, you know what, I don't want the hoopla that comes with them because I just want to focus. I'm new. I'm not comfortable in my position yet, so I don't want them. So now you're down to about 8 to 10 teams that are saying, I want that kid because I can get everything out of him and have him be the best version of himself when he gets here. A lot of people cannot do that in the NFL, and that's what people don't understand. The coaches are saying, you know what, we can't handle just anybody. We have to handle the right person. So I think that's why he's going to fall. But to him, I think it's going to be a perfect scenario because now you're going to go, like you said, to a better team, a better situation. You don't need to be on the field ASAP, right? That helps you as a quarterback anyway. So I think for him, it's going to work out perfect, actually.
Jaden Daniels says, hold my beer. Let me just go out there and get it from day one. But to your point, it does go from like 32 to, you already know we're down to 16. Then you go from 16 to 8. Then you even get fewer teams who are like, I raise my hand for this level of development, scrutiny, and criticism that comes from that process. Because it's going to be growing pains no matter who it is. And to get a Jaden Daniels is amazing. To get a RG3 of yesterday is amazing. But most of the time, you get somebody that high, you're going to have to work with them, right? And you're going to have to be secure in your job to do that work. Or else, if you're one of these newer coordinators that's trying to make your way, and you get Shadur, and they say he's not supreme in any tangible.
Right.
He's supreme in intangibles. Deion's your daddy, so it's some DNA in there, some mental makeup. You're going to go get it. But they're saying you ain't off the charts in speed, size,
arm strength,
nothing.
To me, what makes the best ones, though, right? If you look at from your Kobe, never the biggest, strongest, fastest, right?
Good
Wayne
point.
Gretzky, never the
Jerry
that's
Rice.
What makes the great ones great.
I know.
Now, I'm not saying he's going to be the next great one, but you have to take that into consideration. He's not going to fit all the things that you want him to fit. Top 1 or 2, 3 picks, which is fine, right? But I think Shadur will understand that, which is the piece that over this whole thing is probably the most important piece because he doesn't care. Shador's like, I'm going to go ball wherever. I don't care if I go 1. I don't care.
Every clip I see is I'm going top. I'm going number 2, Cam Ward and him beefing.
Until it
clowning.
happens, I think he's okay with saying, oh, yeah, I went 16. I went 28. I think he'll be fine with it.
You know, football is filled with overthinkers in the front office. In my opinion. And the eye test is the eye test. And that kid is poised. That kid is accurate.
True.
You rarely saw him throw a bad ball. What else do you need? He ran when he needed to. He was tough as nails on Swiss cheese.
They don't look at it. They don't look at it like that.
I know, but
you
what
have
I'm
to
saying
fit a box.
they should. So whatever it is that they're looking at to have him drop, I think they're probably dead wrong on it. The kid can play football. It is part of him.
But can he play football anywhere? That's what they're asking.
I
don't think you send him to Cleveland with that locker room, right? It's a younger team. You don't have no leadership there, and you let him go start and be the leader of the Cleveland Browns. I don't think that's the right fit for him. I just don't. I think he needs to go somewhere and sit behind somebody and learn, okay, this is a new system. This is NFL. This is how we do things here. This is how we use your skill set. Do you sit behind a Kirk Cousins for 2 years? You sit behind a Matthew Stafford for 2 years? To me, that's a perfect scenario in what I see Shedeur. So, and that's situations not out there everywhere. Let's say you have 2 or 3 teams that
is that
out
the
there.
medicine you would have gave Jaden Daniels? And I love to use a success story because it's such an outlier that makes you have to reevaluate.
I don't think Jaden was in his own box to me because Jaden was more physically talented. And when he got to Washington, there was no pressure on Jaden.
Great point.
That's a huge thing. Shedeur's had pressure on him. You go to New York, Shedeur, it's a whole different thing. Right? You have all this non-football stuff that you have to worry about in New York, which is a thing. Now, he can handle it because he's been in the spotlight, which is fine. But again, Jaden made mistakes, right, early in his career. He's still a rookie. He's going to make more mistakes. But at the same time, there was no pressure. They go to the playoffs and now he's the savior. We're not saying he's the best ever. We're not saying he's the best Super Bowl winning rookie quarterback. He didn't win the Super Bowl. He didn't go to the Super Bowl. We're just saying he was good for Washington because Washington was so bad. We're saying the same thing about Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is in the talks of being great because he's in Jacksonville. They had never won. So he's winning 8 games a year. To them, that's great. Right? But to us, we're not like, oh, big deal.
And then we saw that collapse wherever we are right now with Trevor Lawrence is not where we were.
That's right.
Because they were trending up. Now they're trending down because they thought it was supposed to go from 4 to 8 to 12 to 16. It doesn't work like that, right? But I think Shadeur's the same way. I don't think that he needs to be somewhere where he needs to play right now, needs to win right now. Those scenarios would, I think, hurt his whole career.
You know, it's interesting. Your comps map on exactly to who they say Shedeur is. Think about situations. There was a prospect that went to he was a top pick, one of the top picks, so top 10, let's say that. And he went to a team, and there was so much criticism and scrutiny and spotlight, he didn't do so well. And then this same prospect goes somewhere where they used to have success, but now the expectations are low, and he starts to ball out. Who was that prospect? Trivia.
Sam Darnold.
That's a great one. It's the same as a Sam Darnold, but it wasn't Sam Darnold. They say he's Geno Smith.
Oh, you talking about
Geno Smith?
Oh,
Geno.
I was going to say Baker Mayfield.
It could be Baker.
Here,
a little different.
Here, okay. Let me ask you this:
spotlight, but he was a top pick.
Who was Robert RG3's rookie year? Who was rookie of the year that year?
RG3.
Okay. Do you want his career in year 10?
He didn't have one.
So to some people, he was the perfect pick because he was rookie of the year. But some people say you were supposed to be here for 10 years. You were supposed to be doing this for 10 years.
Injuries matter, though.
Injuries matter, right? So again,
and the coaching, they ran him into the ground.
Oh, he should have played that playoff game. He should have played that.
But I'm like, that's okay. Did they use him right now? So who ruined the career? The coaching, the organization.
Yeah.
All of these things have to be part of the conversation. It can't just, he had a 70% completion percentage and threw for 10 touchdowns, so we picked the right guy.